Hi folks, I'm Mike and I hope you're well. I was running a bit late and I don't know, I'm not prepared whatsoever. Welcome to Featured Artist Live, episode number 8, where me and my fellow guests, my wonderful, amazing guests, are going to listen to some of your music and we're going to discuss it and talk about what we like about it and what we think could improve. I'm just switching my speakers off over here if you think I'm sidetracked. And also just talking about production in general and what comes up from those conversations. So very much looking forward to tonight's show because I've got 3 really interesting songs, I reckon, and 2 of them are kind of from newbies, which is always nice to sort of catch people when they're sort of new at it and they can really benefit from some advice. A big thanks to my sponsor just up here, DistroKid. If you follow that link, which is in the description, then you can get 7% off of DistroKid if you should go there to release some of your music. We'll be talking about those a little bit later. Now, just a few minutes before I came on the show, not very long before, I thought, you know what, I'll set up a cakewalk group on Facebook, a Creative Source cakewalk group. And I did that. And I've put a link for that in the description. I'm not even sure how many members I've got. I'll go and have a look. It was about 20 when I left. So it would be great if you could go there and join that group and show your support and all that. That would be lovely. Now, let me just check my notes here. Oh, yes, that was the other thing I need to say. If you would like to have some of your music featured on this show and critiqued by me and my wonderful guests who you'll meet in a moment, then do follow the link in the description below for that. It's just a little form you have to fill out, and then I'll be listening to it at some point in the future, and then perhaps you will get featured on this show and get the opportunity to be critiqued. Now, if you are in the live chat at the moment, thank you so much for being here. Could you go ahead, do this thing for me right now? Could you hit that like button for me? Do it. Not because you like it. That doesn't matter to me at all. What I want you to do is hit the like button, because I think that YouTube tells more people about the show if you hit the like button. Apparently, there's an algorithm. So I know nothing about algorithms and things, but apparently there's an algorithm, which is great. So, and a big thank you to the people who have entered, or I don't want to use the word entered because it's not a competition, but those of you who have submitted a song to go on this show, thank you so much for doing that. I haven't listened to all of them yet. There's hundreds there. On a Sunday evening, I generally sit back, usually Susie's there, and I listen through a few and I pick 3 of the ones I listen to. Just want to say hi to some people in the chat before I say hi to my guests. We have in the chat, let's just go randomly here. Well, I'm going to what a great name. Hi, Acid Priest. Nice to see you here. Hey, Mark Tanner. Hey, Jacob Emmanuel Orencia. I hope I said that right. From the Philippines. I've been to the Philippines, actually, and I really had a great time there. The people in the Philippines are just incredibly musical, very, very musical bunch over there. So I had a great time there. Thank you for joining us. Welton Kinder, I hope I said that correctly. Thank you so much. And who else have we got here? Frigsy, the Messy Room Session. I just like your username very, very much. Nice to see you all here. Let me introduce you. I want to introduce you to one of my guests, at least. One of them doesn't appear to be on camera at the moment. Hey, let's just go for the one who is on camera at the moment. His name, of course, is synonymous with niceness and pleasantness and things like things like that. Let's have him on here. Mr. Pete Johns from Studio Live today. Here you go, my friend.
Hi, Mike. My name is Pete and I'm pleasant. That's what I've heard. I'm a fence sitter from way back, so although I've been told that tonight, I don't know, Jade will probably deny everything, but I've been told that I'm going to be the good cop tonight because I think someone else is
Apparently
joining us,
so.
and I've just let the cat out of the bag about who your second guest is, but she's in the thumbnail, so it's not that much of a surprise. How are you doing, mate? How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm loving this show. I'm loving this format. You've dropped it down from 27 songs down to 3, so I think that's a really good move.
I'm doing good. I'm really looking forward to just listening to the music tonight, actually. Just kicking back. I'm having a day off tomorrow. I said to this off air, I very rarely have a day off. Tomorrow, I'm having a proper day off. Can't remember the last time I really did it. So I'm sort of like very cruisy this evening. It's evening here, by the way, folks. It's about 8 o'clock in the evening here in Perth, Western Australia. Over where Pete is, of course, it's a much later than that because there's 2.5 hours difference.
It is. It's way past my bedtime. I think Friggsy said, Pete, Friggsy's over there in the UK, and he's like, Pete, I didn't know that you function this time of night. And what you'll find out by the end of the show, Friggsy, is I kind of don't. So look forward to that. No, it's always a pleasure to be here, Mike, and I do love your community. And even though I've never used Cakewalk in my life, I may just go join your Facebook group just to hang out.
Yeah, do that. Do that just to see how it's done, really. I mean, I think that's the important thing. Now, let's bring up, look, I noticed that you've got your green screen on again. You're obviously not in your studio because obviously this guest of ours here, Jade, hey, Jade is in your studio. Apparently.
It's a nice studio, Pete. It smells good too.
We'll see the blue couch too. I missed the blue couch because it's been a while.
Jade, you're ready to speak your mind tonight, aren't you? Freely.
I always speak my mind. Always. Always. I'm not a fence sitter like Pete. I like to say it like it is, but I'm not mean. I'm not a mean person. So
no, that's true. I've never seen you be mean to anyone's face, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We'll keep it at
that. Good to have you guys here. I wish I had something prepared for what you've been up to recently, but quickly, I haven't got anything prepared. But Pete, quickly. What's been going on over there at Studio Live today that is a real highlight at the moment? Well, I know what is a highlight. What's going on this month?
You mean what's going on in the month of Songtember, Mike?
Yes,
it's the 16th of Songtember today. So we are halfway through our Song in a Month challenge. It is a really, really cool time. Jade's involved, I'm involved, all of the members of the community are involved, and all we do is we create, record, and release a song all in the month of September. It's just an opportunity to get more good music into the world, and for folks who maybe they've got half-finished songs or three-quarters or 7/8 finished songs, which we all do, just get it done. It's just encouragement to just get it done, get it in the can, and get it out there and be done with it and release it, because that release is a good feeling for you.
We will be discussing that very subject later because one of the artists on our show tonight has getting a bit horny over there on the right. One of our artists tonight is a bit of an exclusive because he has never released any of the music, and we're going to be playing one of his songs. He's never released anything at all, so that's going to be interesting. Jade, over on your wonderful channel, which is all about how to app, which is just a new way of saying it. I've never heard that phrase before, how to app. I love it.
Thank you. I've been doing the same thing. Songtember's in full swing. And I'm recording a 7-track EP, a death metal grindcore album this. Show off, yeah. Yeah, damn straight. And
do you know? Until now, I've never heard the term grindcore.
Really?
Don't give me that. Oh, really? As if everyone knows what grindcore is.
It's man. It's grindcore. Well, it has a spin. It's a comedy grindcore. So this is a comedy. But like dirty limericks just sung to really fast blast.
Oh, really?
Beats.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I know a few dirty limericks. Perhaps I'll share them.
So I can't say the band name here because it's got the magic C word in it. And it's not
cough medicine.
It's not that, no. But things are going good, and got a little Wart series going on, which stands for We All Rise Together. So it's a little series about
Wart series, okay.
Promotion, and tomorrow I'm doing a show on the value, how to value yourself as an artist.
I thought it may be like something literally to do with warts. And you know, just a little side topic here. We all have our different ways of getting off to sleep at night. Some people like a completely silent room. Now, come on, Pete Johns, I saw that face. Now, listen, don't go there. I sometimes have a whole series of Netflix play, and I only watch the first half of the first episode. This is the way Susie, my beloved partner, gets herself off to sleep. She gets her iPhone, and there's these channels. There's these channels where people, all they do is pop their pimples on camera. You don't even get to see the whole face. They just squeeze their zits. And like some of these people have got millions of subscribers.
Dr.
And that's
Pimple
all they
Popper.
do. Crazy.
Yep.
And she finds it very relaxing and says it puts her off to sleep. Makes me want to vomit. I've never actually looked at it without going like this, like that. Yeah.
Wow.
So
How
there you go.
soft are you? God, how soft.
Hey,
You've
How
got that
do you
big
get to sleep at
black microphone in
night,
front of
Mark?
you.
How do you do it? Because everyone's wanting to know.
Are
'cause
you,
apparently
well,
this is
that was a bit
sleep
nasty,
talk
wasn't it?
with
That
Mike.
was a bit nasty. That was a bit. How do you sleep at night, Mike?
How
That
do
was a
you
little
sleep
bit of
at night?
With one eye open,
Yeah, I think I'm
the
just going to
Simpsons
take
found out
him
there
off
on
this.
a big
gripping
bed
your pillow tight.
covered in money with lots of beautiful women. That's what you have to say with that.
I got a different. After 30 years of having a straight cut to my haircut at the back, after 30 years of that, my hairdresser the other day decided he was going to change my life by grooming me differently. Told me I'm going to have thousands of more female subscribers on my channel. I can't get around to
I was going to say, how often do you show the back of your head on any of your videos?
I know.
Living on
I know.
the edge.
I know. There you go.
Do you have
Anyway.
LEDs in your bedroom, Mike? I can just
I
imagine like a whole room full of LED lights.
Always purple.
Oh, I've
all
thought
set
about
for
it.
purple.
I've thought about, can I grab my camera here? I must show this, actually. I've got to show
here we
this.
go.
We got off track.
There we go.
For a short
Let's
show.
go. Sorry, we will get on with the show,
Look at this.
in a minute,
Look at
folks.
this,
I'm just
Pete.
going to turn things around here to underneath my monitors. Look at this, hey. Look at this. Just that one under that one, and over there under the other monitor. Look at that. Do you see it? It's just that meter there. Do you see the meter, Pete? Look at that.
Oh,
As I-
God.
it's so wonderful.
Meter beater.
It's so wonderfully oh, that's pointing the wrong way, isn't it? It's so wonderfully
Wonderfully
unnecessary. Like us, really.
I don't know whether
Let's
to
get
laugh
on
or
with the
cry
show.
sometimes.
Oh, is this a show?
This is a show. We're actually going to look at some music, folks. Nice to have you here, by the way. Let's get stuck in with our first song. This song, I'm going to just pull up the name here, and Mr. Pete Johns is going to read it out for me. Pete.
We would like to welcome to Featured Artist Live Keith Norris with a little ditty called Dirty Little Secret.
There you go. Now, I've got my own reasons for including this song. I fear Jade's reaction, but I will say about I don't have much information. I do like to gather information. I haven't been able to reach the artist by email all week. I don't even know if he knows that he's going to be on the show. But anyway, I've included this because this is the first time that he's ever mixed and mastered a song in Cakewalk by BandLab. And that's the theme of tonight's show, is that all three songs were created in Cakewalk, okay? So let's just go straight to it and have a listen, of course, in wonderful mono. The only thing I know about it is it is programmed drums. He used MT Power drum kit. That was the biggest challenge. And it sounds like this.
Some more and left me here crying in a deep dark hole. A deep dark hole. Well, she knocked me out and I had no doubt I'd spend the rest of my days just wallowing in my shame. She made me so ashamed. Oh, but you came around and showed me your dirty little secret. Dirty little secret. You got a dirty little secret. Your dirty little secret. Well, I ain't gonna lie, you take away my breath, 'cause you know what you want and it scares me to death. It scares me to death. I'm a little bit nervous and a little bit glad, 'cause you met my match and you know that it ain't so bad. No, it ain't so bad. Well, there's someone in charge, but it sure ain't me. And as long as you stay, I'll be whatever you want me to be. What do you want me to be? 'Cause you came around and I found I got a dirty little secret. It's a dirty little secret. Not a dirty little secret. Come on. Well, I ain't tell mama what we're doing tonight, but I know I'll get myself an education if I do alright. Gotta play my cards right. 'Cause you came around and found my dirty little secret. Got a dirty little secret. You're my dirty little secret. It's our dirty little secret. Ooh, so dirty.
There you go. Look, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I'm not going to allow any sitting on the fence. I'm going to go straight over to Jade Starr and ask Jade, what's your feeling about this one, Jade? I'm most eager to hear what you think.
Look, it was awesome. Great. You said this is first effort. First effort.
Yeah.
Fantastic. First effort. Like the only thing that's going to happen from here is just going to get better and better. Drums sounded great. Bass was pumping along. Thought the rhythm guitar was a little bit muddy. Could have been a bit brighter and just kicked you in the face a little bit more. And I think too with his vocals, the more he records stuff, he's probably going to come out of himself a little bit more and just be a bit more, dirty little secret man. Probably just sitting a little bit back and chilling. Where it's he's kind of telling you, dirty little secret man. But song was driving. The solo was really nice. It was very bright. And probably the rhythm guitar could have been a little bit brighter just to match that. So it's a little bit, just a little bit fuzzy in there and a bit dense. But hey, man, there's only good things to come. Seriously, I was enjoying that. Good stuff.
Good stuff. I did actually have a feeling that you might enjoy that. It's not. Look, I'll hold off on my opinion because Pete Johns has got things to say about this, I'm sure. You're not. You love rock music, Pete, but you're not this kind of rock music normally, are you? So.
Not generally, but I do like it. And again, because I do a show remarkably similar to this one, I listen to a lot of this sort of driving rock, and I actually kind of love it. I'm kind of like a guy called Darren Anderson out of Queensland who does very sort of similar, just really driving, like very distorted rhythm guitar driven rock. And it's actually really cool. It reminds me of a simpler time in the 70s and 80s when, you had a bass player, you had a drummer, you had two guitars, and you had a vocals. And you just played songs that made you feel like you wanted to go on a road trip. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I actually really do dig it. So this one, now the MT Power drums, they sounded great. Like I've used those. They were my first virtual drum kit before I moved on to Superior Drummer and all the others. But they punch above their weight, and he's programmed them really well. There was an awesome snare pattern following the lyrics coming into the sort of pre-chorus section that I thought sounded really awesome. I got a lot of people were saying like Motorhead or ZZ Top. I got a real Motley Crue vibe, very kickstart your heart, very just like pumping along, just nodding your head kind of feel. What would I do differently? I could hear some backing vocals in there. It was a very straightforward single vocal. So especially where it's like dirty little secret, I could hear dirty little secret, dirty little secret, dirty little. I could hear that in my head, and I would just love to hear something like that, just some creativity. Again, as Jade said, first time around. Hey, it's really, really good. And the only other thing I had here is that I think a lot of people in rock songs, they're afraid to put any sort of pads in. And I love rock songs that have some keys, some organ, some sort of pad, even some synth. Like I think Van Halen, they were the masters of having rock songs that had some nice distorted guitars, but you can also throw like an electric piano in there or some synth sounds in there just to pad it out underneath. So just to fill out some of those, some of the spectrum there of some of the different frequencies, would have been nice to have something like that. But in terms of, hey, would I go to a pub and sit and drink a pint and listen to a 5-piece band rock this out all night? Yes, I would.
Yeah, I actually, to be honest with you, when I first heard the track, I wanted to double check because some people send me covers, and I don't mind playing covers, but mostly I get original. And I kind of wanted to check, is this a cover? Because it just felt like, oh, this could definitely be like a famous cover that I don't know about. I didn't want to embarrass myself too much. So, but no, this is an original piece of music, and I thought it was kind of cool about that. There was something cool about that. Someone's just saying in the chat there, Clayton's just saying, you think more guitar tracks, double tracked. I utterly agree with that. I mean, it's well done and for a good reason because it can sound great. I thought the lead guitar solo was a little bit loud, just a tad too loud. If the artist Keith happens to see this, then I would suggest that. But yeah, and I also agree, maybe some additional harmony. I don't know about harmonised vocals, but some doubled up vocals would definitely, they may have been there, maybe subtly, I don't know, but maybe a little bit less subtly would be a good thing. An old trick, often talk about on the channel, lots of people do it, including the great Freddie Mercury, doubled his lead vocals in choruses quite a lot. And, it's an old trick used by many, many people. What I did love personally about this track was that it was not at all pretentious. It is what it is. It's unapologetic about what it is. And it does that style of rock, which somebody else said in the comment is very 70s. Yes, it's very 70s. And it does it very, very well. And I definitely encourage Keith to keep it. Just a bit off topic, I'm going to admit something here. I've been talking about not being too pretentious because ABBA released 2 new singles, and it reminded me how much I bloody love ABBA. I'm tragic for ABBA. I absolutely adore them.
Straight.
And I've been listening to them to death. And the one thing I must, completely off topic this, if you're going to diss ABBA to me, I'm going to say this to you. Get yourself a copy of Dancing Queen and listen to the bass guitar part. And if you're a bass guitar player, challenge yourself to learn it because it's freaking amazing. Musicianship, absolutely incredible. Anyway, but it was a less pretentious time. People just had fun with music and said, hey, sounds great, let's have fun with it. And that's what I liked about it. And that's what I liked about this particular track.
Just never watch any documentaries and find out how Benny and Bjorn actually treated the rest of the band, and you'll be absolutely fine, Mike. You'll be happy forever.
It's the writer's privilege to treat people like crap, in my opinion.
Cancel them. We can't cancel them, Pete. They've just come back.
I know.
I'm really enjoying the new stuff too. They've kept it simple and they haven't come back and used all this dumb, fancy new stuff. They've just kept it simple. I really love the new stuff.
I'm sure they've mended their bridges and the past has been forgotten. Hey, weren't they all married at one point and now they're not, or they swapped partners?
That's right.
Weird.
They look good too.
No, but honestly, it's just off topic again, but it's a testament to them to have that amount of forgiveness in you and to be able to get past things and not hold on to things and to work with someone you were previously married with and you obviously had a tough time together at some point is just kind of a testament to them as people that you could do that, because I couldn't do it. Not with past band members even, let alone wives. Terrible. I've upset
Mike's just like, Waterloo, couldn't escape if I wanted to.
You guys. Now listen, we're going to move on.
There's a lot of ABBA love going on in the chat. I'm like, I'm going to be the black sheep of this one. I thought I was going to be the good cop fence sitter. Sorry, I'll aid him.
You would have liked ABBA, Pete.
Oh, look, I do. I'll still put on ABBA and put my wig on and dance around in the lounge room.
To say you don't like ABBA is like you saying you don't like pop, basically, because it is just the most pure form.
I'm a huge palindrome fan. I like Glenelg and ABBA, so I'm all like that. So it's an Adelaide joke.
I'm a death metal head. I still love ABBA.
Talking about Melbourne, our next artist coming up comes from Melbourne, and I did mention earlier on that he hasn't actually released anything at all. But if he were to release something, I would say it would be a good idea for him to release something on DistroKid, because it's really, really easy. You just go into DistroKid like I did here. I had an old photograph I took on the beach of some footprints, years old, just chucked a title on it, filled out this very easy to fill out form, which took me a couple of minutes. I've sped up the footage here so you can see. But it's one of those forms which is really nice to use. It's a smart form. Tells you when you're doing things wrong, gives you some guides as to what you should do. So look, all you need to do this, and then you can upload your music and your artwork here, and it's going to get you to all the places where you want to have your music played. I mean, perhaps irritatingly for some people, depending on how good your music is. I'm not supposed to say that, am I? But yeah, that's DistroKid. That's our sponsor, and I use them, and Pete uses them, and Jade, do you use DistroKid?
Of course, all my stuff's on DistroKid.
You do. I know you do. So
I like that you just showed there, but I like DistroKid out of the title feature because I get a lot of questions about DistroKid every week, and a lot of people, especially if you've got featured artists, how you have to form your title is Jay's got the DistroKid.
I know.
She's going to chomp on. The titling is so hard, but they've got that, like you said, a smart form now. You put it in there, and it's like, hey, idiot, you got to put your featured artist like this. You can't put a dot there. You got to put it here.
Yes.
So it actually holds your hand, and I need that.
The first time I did it, I was putting up something that me and Suze did together, and I did it wrong the first time.
Yeah, get it right at the source.
Thank
Do it.
Pete's
the
done that
creative
too.
source. Anyway, moving on. So we have Rowan Lindsay. Now, Rowan, I've got a little bit of a backstory here. He sent me this EP about a year ago. And I remember at the time I said to him, personally, I enjoyed it. I was usually going to release it, man. He's never released anything at all. I said, just release it. And so recently he said, I've been watching your show, your featured artist show. Do you think you could put one of my songs on there from those files I sent you? And I said, sure. And he was over the moon about it, I know. And he may be in the chat lurking without saying anything. If you are, Rowan, I think we're going to teach you a lesson here. What I want you to do, the only thing I've got for Rowan is a link to his Facebook page, his public music Facebook page. And that's what I'm going to play as the video here, which I screenshotted earlier. So this is not his video, folks, just by the way. But if you feel that Rowan should probably open an account at DistroKid and actually release his music to the world so people can actually hear it, then I want you to follow that link in the description for his Facebook page and go over and hassle him. Just give him crap. On the other hand, Rowan, one of these two people I have on here may tell you you need a little bit more work. I don't know because they've never heard the track before, but they are going to hear it now. It's called Entitled. It wasn't just recorded in Cakewalk, but a very old Cakewalk, a Sonar X3. He uses lots of Australian mics actually. He's recorded the vocals with the Rode NT2 through a Rane VP12 preamp. I don't know what that was. Thanks for that smoke there, Jade. And also recorded the drums in his shed through a Tascam 8-track reel-to-reel. I don't know why he did that. Maybe to get that quality of... So through the tape, reel-to-reel, then straight into Cakewalk. Mics on the drums are a pair of Rode NT5s. I've got a couple of those myself. Awesome. As overheads, some SM57s on the top and bottom of the snare, and an Audix D2 on the kick drum, and an NT2, another Rode mic in the room. All guitars were recorded through Guitar Rig 5 using a Squire Strat, which I've owned myself in the past before, and they're perfectly good guitar. He just wanted to acknowledge a couple of musicians on there, Jack Maru on lead guitar and Luke Ward on drums. Let's have a listen to this song Entitled by Rowan Lindsay from Melbourne.
Rest assured, you're not alone to feel that something's off. Is my perspective skewed? Come again, I think I am mistaken. But for now, is that your point of view? Where is this life I'm entitled to? It's preached out online. When's this all been true? It lies is for a widespread problem, unresolved, a generation falls. What's that now? I think I have misheard you. Like for love, a prayer is an amen. Where is this life? I'm entitled to. We deserve this. It's preached out on the line. When's this surrender?
There you go. At the risk of sounding a little bit dramatic, a bit of a world exclusive there on that track for people watching live. You were some of the first people in the world to hear that. I'm going to go over to Mr. Pete Johns first of all. Pete, I saw you kind of nodding your head a lot there and frowning. That must mean
was I?
something.
Yeah, it means I'm an old man and I can't do two things at once, so I can't smile and look at the camera and also listen to music at the same time. I like that a lot. So it had a very 90s vibe, and I'm a sucker for some 90s riff-driven guitar-based rock. So especially when you have a bit of some dynamics in there. So a lot of music these days is just like loud, and then it's loud, and then it's loud. I love the fact that we started with just the guitar and the vocals, and then we built into the band. That was a very 90s thing to do. Doesn't happen enough these days, in my humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a band out of your neck of the woods, out of Frio, called Eskimo Joe, that were around in the 90s.
Yep.
That had a very
Great band.
Eskimo Joe vibe to it. And that's a good thing. Just those twangy guitars, a really nice treatment on the guitars just to make them sound a little bit different, a little bit of chorus or flange or something on those just to make them, I don't know, I couldn't tell through the mono haze exactly what was on the guitars, but it sounded good. And then the progression on that was really good as well. I thought that was really cool. What would I do differently? I thought the vocals were a little on the loud side, especially when it was just the vocals and guitars, and I think they could probably be sat down a little bit more in the mix. I don't know. I'll defer to you, others, for whether you think the same sort of thing. I think they were really great, but just a little bit overpowering because they were so passionate. I think, as Jade said in the last one, it sounded like our previous singer was singing a little bit within himself. It's pretty clear that on this one, the artist was really just pushing it out. So this is clearly someone that's, I'm just guessing here, but has sung live and has performed live a lot because they were really projecting and really getting a lot of passion. I think sometimes when you record, you're used to just, getting your SM58 and turn it up to 11 and then just getting your vocals out there. Sometimes in the studio, that comes across as a little bit overbearing, which is the only thing that I sort of got from that one. But yeah, that's all I had. And the drums were excellent. A very live sound on the drums. I think that whatever he did with his 8-track reel-to-reel recorder going through that, they sounded like, again, you were in a club. It sounded like I was down at the Gov listening to Eskimo Joe playing out in the back room there. So yeah, all around I dug it because, again, if you play 90s style kind of alt rock sounds, I'm going to dig it before you even have to try. So I like it a lot.
I knew that too, but yeah. One day I'm going to get you to say something negative about someone, but maybe not today.
No, the vocals were loud. They were too loud. You need to turn those down like good 3-4 dB. I gave you that.
Okay.
That's all I got though.
So, Rowan, if you're watching, what Pete means is please give up this career until you can record vocals.
Oh, and the backing vocal. Unlike, again, what the last one didn't have, this one had. The little ad-lib sort of bits of the backing vocal between the little passages were really good there in the chorus. I like that too.
Yep. Pete likes things in between his little passages. Okay, Jade.
I do like.
That's why he's a fence sitter.
Way back.
Boom, boom. Nice one, Jade. I saw a couple of approving nods from you as well, Jade, during that one.
I couldn't see anything through the smoke.
It was a great song. It was a great song. Rowan's done a really fantastic job at writing the song. The song's really well. The build up was fantastic. His vocal, clearly Rowan's a great singer. He's got and he's captured, and no matter, I think the volume 2 could have sat a little bit more as well, but he's captured a very clear recording of his voice. I think that was the clearest part of the entire song. Definitely there was chorus in the guitar. I would have probably taken out a little bit of chorus. I'm not a chorus fan. What can I say? I don't like it. But see, I'm a bit different with the drums. I found the drums a little bit sunken in the mix. I think they could have come up a little bit more and had a bit more balls. Vocals down, and between those two, just a bit of balance. It's a really nice song. Reminded me straight away of the Goo Goo Dolls. And I saw somebody else write that. I'd already written it down here. But a fantastic song. I just think the drums could just come up a little bit, and just, I don't know. I think I said this last week about a song. Snare was just a little bit boxy, didn't cut through as much as I wanted it to. I really wanted to snap more and just really bring it to life and make it pop. But, all that stuff's nothing really, because that can all be fixed. The songwriting's there, and that's the most important thing. So great job, Rowan. Really nice song. I really enjoyed it a lot.
I agree. Something I enjoyed about it was the arrangement, because in a world of formulas, and I follow formulas and I fall into formulas in my songwriting, like many of us do, it's nice to have something that isn't too far out that it's unpalatable, but it's just testing things a little bit. So, for example, it started off, first of all, he could have easily gone down a route of vocal and acoustic guitar at the beginning, which many people would do. He went with electric guitar, which was nice to hear, and it kind of just hung in there a little bit longer than you expected before the rest of the band came in. Then, in fact, the guitar solo was just over the rhythm guitar. There was nothing else in there. A lot of people would have brought the whole band in, a whole section earlier. So I enjoyed the fact that it was a little bit unexpected, because first time I heard it, I thought, is this just going to be a guitar and vocal song all the way through? And so it was like, oh, no, it isn't. And when the drums did come in, I do agree that they were a little low in the mix. But what I really enjoyed about these drums is they just weren't straightforward. If you get a chance to hear this song again, which you won't unless Rowan releases it, then you'll hear that there was nothing. Yeah, there was nothing copy and paste about these drums. There was this being felt without being too far out there that it would ruin the song by being too experimental. So I thought that was really good stuff. Jade's making a little hint there for Rowan. And one of the wonderful things, if Rowan did go ahead and release this on DistroKid, is people would get to hear the song in stereo. That would be a new exclusive, because so far the world has only heard this song in mono. But yeah, look, he sent me an EP's worth of material, and 6 or 7 songs, and it was all good, and some of it, for people who like that kind of music, they'll totally be into it. So my message is to Rome, for God's sake, man, I told you a year ago to release this music. Why haven't you released it yet? He was so nervous about this going on the show. He's so concerned that people are going to trash his music. And it's like, yeah, if it was rubbish, people might, but that no one's going to trash it. I mean, some people just might not like the style or whatever, but for God's sake, release it and move on to your next, get on to some new material. Free you up mentally to create new material once you release it, which is...
Let it go, mate. Let it go. If people are going to dislike it, they're going to dislike it. It doesn't matter what you do. And I'm sure there's going to be more people that are going to like it than dislike it. And exactly what Mike said, free your mind. Move on to the next thing. Don't let these things weigh you down, because you'll find out you've been letting it weigh you down for naught. Zero.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do it,
and
mate.
so, look, people in the chat have enjoyed it. I'm sure people, if you're watching on the replay, by the way, let me know in the comments what you think about these songs. I enjoyed it, and Susie absolutely loved this song when I was playing it in the bedroom on last Sunday night. I put it on. She said, "This is great," So.
And I've already gone over to Facebook to follow Rowan Lindsay Music.
Dude, don't follow
Facebook.
him. Give him hassle. Just put DistroKid graphics as comments on all of his posts.
But he's he's a dude that has a beard and likes to wear hats. So he's my kind of people.
He had
so,
some
we're
nice
gonna hang
slippers
out.
on. He had some nice slippers on in a couple of those video clips on there, yeah. It's the only criticism I've really got, Rowan. When you go out in public, and you're in public, you don't want to wear your moccasin slippers on your video clips, in my
be worse.
opinion.
Could be worse. Could be Crocs.
Yeah, could be Crocs, man. Don't do Crocs.
So anyway, if Rowan did sign up at the moment, like anybody, they'd follow the link in the description and they would head over to DistroKid over there and they'd see a big yellow banner at the top like we did just a moment ago. And they're seeing that because they're going to get 7% off of the already cheap $19.99 for what you get for $19.99 is that you actually get to upload an unlimited number of songs. An unlimited number of songs for the year. I will say that applies to originals. You do have to pay some extra if you upload cover songs. And DistroKid does not take any of your royalties. Let me be clear on that. They don't take any of your royalties. Some other, like government department, may take some tax or something like that. And, some of the people that you distribute to, iTunes, Spotify, blah, 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 all those sort of people, they may take some money out of the cost of selling your music. But DistroKid themselves don't take anything from it. I think there's a little bit of confusion about that at times, so I'm happy to clear it up. Now, it's enough of that. Let's move on to our last song.
Hi, DistroKid.
Yeah.
Hey, DistroKid. Here you go.
Hi. Can you sponsor one of my shows again soon? Listen to me. I'm shilling. Get
Begging
these
going
two
on.
losers.
I think about.
I didn't actually ask you to bring any. Look, let me say, Jade's the only person who I've ever had on the show who brought their own graphics with them. So
That's true.
Yeah, I've always got a little barcode down the bottom so you can hold your phone up to it and go straight to the website.
I'm going to share this awkward transition. It wasn't a bit awkward, wasn't it? Anyway, I can't believe this. This show's gone so quickly. I love having you guys on so much. We're already going on to the third song. We've had some short songs as well. The last one is from a guy. This is a really interesting song. Really, really interesting song. Jade, stop it. Stop it.
I can't help it. Got ants in my pants.
Just... We last song on here is from a fellow called John Hemingway. In fact, I'm supposed to get you guys to read this out, but I've had no difficult names to pronounce. But Jade, you can say this one. It's up on the screen now.
John Hemingway. It's not the end of the world.
Some provocative titles tonight. I thought Rowan's entitled was just as one word. How can one word be so provocative? Entitled. It's not the end of the world. I want to listen to the lyrics of songs like this. But anyway, so John, spelt Jon here, has been using Cakewalk for many, many years since the Pro Audio 9 version, which, if I consult my great Cakewalk brain, I think was in 1989. I haven't researched this, I'm guessing. Somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, I'm sure. The way he starts his project, I do this myself. He does some scratch vocals. He uses piano. I would generally do some scratch vocals and guitar. We talked about Reason earlier, I think, didn't we? Or was it Reaper you were talking about, Mr. Johns? I can't remember.
Reaper is what I used to use, yeah.
Okay, well, we're talking about Reason. He used the rewire feature of Reason so that he could use some of the effects and things from Reason in Cakewalk. He's a Cakewalk user. He used Trillion Bass, which I'm hoping to review very soon. It's an amazing bass guitar plugin. It's been around a few years, but it's very, very good. Superior Drummer 2. SI Strings, which you folks won't know, is an included string library with Cakewalk. Many people seem to use it, actually. It's come up a number of times on the show. I don't personally use it very much. Maybe I should. He also used the Reason string patches. He used two virtual guitars, which is interesting. Music Lab's Real LPC, which I guess is a Les Paul one, and also Music Lab's Real Strat. Oh, third one, and a Real Rick, which I guess is a Rickenbacker. All going through Guitar Rig 5. He used 2 mellotron sounds. You can't have a song without a bit of mellotron in it once in a while, I reckon. Tune Tracks 1 and Reasons mellotron flutes. And then he used a very nice microphone, an AKG C414, a bit of a classic vocal microphone, through a Roland Octacapture, which I've still yet to try. Keeps coming up on the channel. I've had a few people have mentioned it. I don't think I've used any Roland interfaces, to be honest with you. The Octacapture seems to get people great results using a combination of the Pro channel, which for you guys who are uneducated in Cakewalk, it's got these sort of effects which are built into each channel. That's the Pro channel, EQs, compression, that sort of thing. So again, stock plugins there, and some wave plugins. And he mastered using Ozone 9, which I've been known to do myself once in a while. So, John Hemingway, it's not the end of the world, or is it? According to REM, it was. But anyway, John's
But
up
I feel
against
fine.
REM.
What'll you do when I am gone? Change the numbers on your phone. Take a deep breath to clear your mind, but the memories, they bind me to you. What'll you do with all your time? Sleeping late, stay out all night. Steal all the covers on the bed. There's no good nights to be said. It's just you. It's not the end of the world. I've been learning our world has stopped, but mine, it's still turning. The ghost of you no longer haunting me. It's just a faded memory. Gone is the hurt. It's not the end of the world. What'll you say to all your friends now that I'm not part of them? It's all over and done. A new day has begun. Life goes on. It's not the end of the world. I've been learning our world has stopped, but mine, it's still turning. The ghost of you no longer haunting me. It's just a faded memory. Gone is the hurt. It's not the end of the world. The stone that we were written in is turned to dust. Riding on the winds of change is blown away. I shed a million tears, I didn't turn to rust. I'll just say it forever for another day. It's not the end of the world. I've been learning our world has stopped, but mine, it's still turning. The ghost of you no longer haunting me. It's just a faded memory. Gone is the hurt, and it's not the end of the world. I've been learning our world has stopped, but mine, it's still turning. The ghost of you no longer haunting me. It's just a faded memory. Gone is the hurt. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world.
Whoa. It's not the end of the world, is it?
It's definitely not now.
So, Pete, you're a great REM fan. Is John just wrong to say this against REM?
No, I don't think so.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
Me too. I'm like, that didn't have an REM vibe to it. No, I dug it in a big bad way, actually. Yeah. Did I go first last time? Should Jade go first?
Did you go first? I can't remember. It doesn't
You
matter.
did go
It
first.
doesn't matter. It
You've
doesn't
ruined the whole
matter.
show, Mike. I'm leaving. Bye.
All right, shut up, Pete. Let's go to Jade. Jade,
wanna hear from
come on,
Jade.
come back, Jade. What did you look? I don't. Look, I'm going to be. I don't put this as Jade's sort of music at all. I don't think Jade likes this sort of
What are you
music.
talking about? No. See, I get typecast all the time. I'm sick of this. I'm going to have a big thing on it. I sing death metal. I do all these things, but I sing pop music, jazz, a lot of different stuff. I listen to a massive range of music. So, off the bat, I found a great song. Fantastic job, by the way. Okay, John, really good. I heard lots of Beatles in it. I heard a lot of Beatles chord progressions in there. I heard ELO, kind of Beatles kind of stuff happening in there. Really big sound, another solid vocal performance. These are things that I wrote. I love the key change in the middle, really kicked things up a notch. That was really fantastic. As I said, had a very big sound. I really want to hear it in stereo because that mono sound is just, it took away a lot from it. What I want to question as well was the quality of the copy of the song. What resolution was it in? It sounded like it was kind of like a lower frequency than 24-bit or something. So that kind of stole away, kind of made the cymbals a bit shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That not shitty, but that kind of word.
The actual soundtrack was from the YouTube clip, so it's
and YouTube does that.
Yeah, and when I listened to it, it had that little bit of shrillness there. Anyway, carry on, Jade.
But I'm sure, like without all that YouTube compression, I'm sure it sounds absolutely wonderful. All the instrumentation was really, really well put together. Definitely, there's a lot going on, but it didn't at all seem like there was too much or that I was being, thrown too much at me at any one time. So, look, I really enjoyed it. As I said, I heard a lot of Beatles in there. Even at the end, those little, whatever they are, pan pipes or whatever, just reminded me of that. But ELO straight away. And I just love the vocal performance. Fantastic job. I'd love to hear it in stereo. So, like, if there's a way I can do that, I'd love to. Because
you can follow the link in the description and hear it in stereo.
And your video quality and sound quality.
Yeah, all right. Come on now. Calm down. We're not here to critique. We're not here to critique me and StreamYard.
You wanted bad cop? No. It's you, not StreamYard, because Pete does it. It's you, mate. It's you.
Don't. Pete has a little workaround, and which I can't do. But anyway, Pete, carry on. I'll just mute Jade over here.
Oh, imagine having to mute someone on your own show, Mike. That would never happen to you. So it's not the end of the world. So what did I love about it? Sorry, I was busy because I'm over there like checking out A, John Hemingway's epic beard, and B, that he's got his own website here and he's got his whole setup going on here and his cakewalk sessions. Because I was intrigued at seeing what the session would look like here, and there's a picture of him with just like this epic, ridiculous dual screen session going on behind him. So I agree with Jade that there was a lot going on in this, but John found a way to make it all work together, and very clear that he knows what frequencies work with what instruments work with what, how to make sure that you get a full mix without it sounding overblown, without it sounding. And this is all me listening through the mono compression. So once I go and listen in stereo, I'm sure I'll be blown away. Yeah, I agree with the Beatles stuff. Obviously, having a Mellotron in there, like, just makes it sort of stink of Beatles. That sounds bad, but a bit of Strawberry Fields in there. Also had a bit of Julian Lennon sound to it. Like, I'm a big fan. I'm a bit weird because I like Julian Lennon stuff, and he had a lot of that kind of sound in there. So that sort of synth sound and the Mellotron going on there. It was also very, I think someone mentioned that it could be a TV theme song. Very 80s sitcom. I can imagine that. Like, can you imagine people just like turning around and it's like their name and it's like Pete Jones and it's like Mike Enjo. I think that would be really cool. And it reminded me, the artist called Joe Esposito, that is a bit of a deep cut, but some may know the Karate Kid theme. He did some other things in Saturday Night Fever. So back in the 70s and 80s, basically every cool song in a movie was written by and recorded by an artist called Joe Esposito. And he had that Karate Kid song, "You're the best around, nothing's gonna ever keep you down." So that kind of vibe is what I felt in this, that 80s pop vibe of everything's going to be all right. And I love the fact that it's called It's Not the End of the World, because it made me smile. It made me think, oh yeah, this is from a happier time. This is from a simpler time back in the day where it perhaps wasn't the end of the world. And I dug that. And it also reminded me of Polyphonic Spree, which was another band that I really liked from about 20 years ago. They had that same kind of sound, just that really full sound, but with enough space between it. So I was impressed, and I'm now following John over on Facebook, and I'm going to go and check out all of his back catalogue. But Mike, what did you think?
I'm glad you asked that, Pete.
I'm a professional.
Well, the reason that this song puts me to shame a little bit, to be honest with you, because the first thing that came out to me, and especially in the first verse, was the strings and how close they were to an ELO sound in strings. There's right. I love ELO's string stuff, and the rhythm actually was very. The rhythm was very close to a lot of ELO songs. I mean, that's not it's a common rhythm anyway, but it was very typical of some ELO stuff. Didn't sound vocally like ELO whatsoever. Didn't sound like Jeff Lynne at all. Now, Jeff Lynne used to work a lot with different members of the Beatles as well, and I think Jeff Lynne was influenced harmonically by the Beatles somewhat. So I think towards the end, and the key changes and a lot of that sort of stuff was very Beatles-esque in a very good way. Another one of the things missing from modern music is key changes. I'm going to go on about this forever. Solos of any kind, whether they're guitars or saxophones or trumpet solos. God's sake, we don't need to listen to vocalists all the time. They've got big enough egos as it is. Can we please hear some instruments? Anyway, but yeah, so that was great. I love that. But the reason I say it put me to shame is because I've often wanted to put an ELO style of strings in my music. And I am privy to quite a lot of an extensive list of string libraries on my computer. And I've never found anything that did it for me. And I've always blamed the string libraries, where the he's used the stock standard string library that comes with Cakewalk, and he's made it work. And I haven't been, and it sounds simple. You just go, ooh, ooh. So, John, I need you to tell me how to do it, please, because
teach Mike how to use Cakewalk.
Yeah, how do you Jade, stop it. Now, how do you you make such a simple thing sound so good? I just love it very much. Yeah, I really enjoyed the track, John. Just big, well done. I want to hear more of your music for sure. In terms of anything I could criticise, I thought the guitars in it were a little low in the volume, and I suspect the reason is because they're virtual guitars, and you probably didn't find them that convincing yourself, and you were scared to put them up too loud. Tell me if I'm wrong about that, because I just think there could have been just a little bit more grunt in places with the guitars just up a little bit in the mix. That's the only thing I had to say about it, but yeah, everything else was great.
Pretty good for virtual guitars, though, as far as virtual guitars go.
Yeah, but just I couldn't hear if it was for that reason. But I'm thinking should be higher in the mix. I'm wondering why you didn't put them higher in the mix. And yeah, that was that. So, well, we've got through this so quickly. I feel like we've got a little bit of spare time. So, for those people watching,
taking my clothes off again.
For those people watching, we always say not just Pete and Jade, but all the good stuff, the really good stuff, happens after the show. So let's pretend it's the end of, not the end of the world, but the end of the show. Excuse me. That's where I die of a coughing fit. Right. So we've ended that. Now? I've just hit this end broadcast button here. Good show, guys. Let's just pretend. God, I thought Pete was going to take his clothes off at some point.
Oh, I know. He's got that.
I would never take off my
sandwich out again.
I would never take off my DistroKid t-shirt. I wear that with pride.
Hey, where's my DistroKid shirt?
Why does your t-shirt actually say Disc Kid when you're hardly a Disc Kid?
Or a kid.
Or a kid.
I'm a kid. I love your wonderful sponsors, DistroKid Mike, and if you want to come and watch another show that's may have been the inspiration for this show, come and watch Your Music Live. Sorry, you didn't invite me to plug anything yet, did you?
If you had plugged anything in the show, which is definitely stopped,
which is already over. Yeah, we've gone off now.
We've gone off. Be careful.
Now Mike can go to sleep.
No, I'm nervous.
That's what he does. That's how he gets to sleep. He goes off and then he goes to sleep.
So, what would you have plugged, Pete, if we were still on air?
If we were still on air, I would have said, come over and listen to some stereo music on Your Music Live. Just go to studiolivetoday.com. Check out Your Music Live, YML. We're every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. London, and 7 a.m. for the folks on the east coast of Australia. And if you've got a song that you want to submit to another show, use studiolivetoday.com/YML. And you can do that. But I would never do that on your show, Mike, because I'm not a shill, and I wouldn't steal your thunder like that. I would sit back and just let you do your thing.
I know. You're definitely not a shill. Now that we're off air...
Yeah.
Now Jade can tell you what you really think, Mike.
Oh,
now, Jade, what would you have pushed about your channel if you'd had the opportunity during the real show?
I don't know. Look, come over and watch my channel if you want. It's a variety show. I tell stupid jokes. I look at apps. I make music. It's all a bit of a car crash, really.
You wear costumes?
I do. I make a total ass of myself every day. And but it's all for the sake of creativity and supporting each other. And, and I guess my show is a bit of a variety show. It's a bit of a car wreck, but it's all about like uplifting other creators. That's what I do over there each day. And I get up every morning at 6 a.m. I know
Why do you do your show so early? Like, you don't have to, right? Why is your show so early?
Well, because I like to get up and just know that it forces me to get up each day, because my health is poor, and it's something that I feel like I'm doing something constructive, and then I have the rest of the day to make music and do things. So, it's a good way to push yourself. 6 a.m. It's good times.
That's what
everything's happening at 6 a.m., man. The coffee's brewing. The birds are chirping.
I wake up at about 6:30 my time, and I log in, and I usually catch the last 10 minutes of Jade's show. I'm just like, "Hi, everybody," and Jade will usually make some derogatory comment towards me, and then
I'll tell you what, I mostly watch your live shows while I'm in bed, Pete.
Oh, really? Is that how you get to sleep?
That's how I get to sleep.
It's all coming out now. So you go while you're listening to. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's nice to watch you while I'm in bed.
Oh man!
Hey, that show you did with your wife the other day was good.
I knew he was going to go there. I knew it. Oh, dude.
For those who shouldn't be watching the show because the show should be finished, Pete did a live show the other day with his wife where people could ask anything. I got in on the tail end of it. I was in bed, I think. And,
what did you ask, Mike?
I think I asked if you're really nice off air. Yeah.
And what did my wife say?
She said that you were, disappointingly, and I was,
she's lying. I've met him.
Yeah.
No,
but I noticed one thing I did notice about that show is it got a lot more views than your shows normally.
Oh, a whole lot more, like 3 times as many views. People would much rather look and listen to my wife than they would me, and that's not surprising because that's how we roll. But no,
she was very good. I used to watch her. She used to be on your channel early on, back in the day. Back in the day.
Before time, back when we were all coming up, So, but no, it was interesting because she did actually answer your question by saying that no, if Pete doesn't like you, he won't like you. But if you're actually a good person, he'll be your friend for life, which means that you two are actually okay.
She did surprise me. She did surprise me because she said that you're the kind of person that doesn't normally trust people up front.
It's true, 100%.
And that did surprise me when she said that. Because I thought you were the kind of person who is just right away with everyone. You assume the best, and then
you didn't trust
get
me before he met me.
No,
you didn't trust me,
true.
did you?
Yeah,
I had to give you bank details, and
it's true. Yeah, so you put down a deposit.
I never got that back, by the way. It's only $1, but you could have put it back.
But I have your tax file number now, so hey, that's good.
It's all right. Enjoy doing my taxes then. I know how much you like doing them.
Oh, right. Oh.
And let's not
I
talk about taxes. Let's not talk about taxes. I don't think
Susie. Your better half's an accountant, so is she good at taxes? She should become.
She is. She refuses to go anywhere near my books. She won't have anything to do with it, and she's not going to come on the show and let people ask questions about me.
You spent how much on this, Taylor? Why?
So
Why did you need another one? Don't you already have a guitar?
You spent how much
Have
on
you
these
not already
lights
bought
underneath
some
your
lights?
screen? Yeah.
Why do you need
Why did you
17
need these
purple
monitors?
RGBs? I don't understand. I don't get it. Why does everything have to be so purple, Mike?
Oh dear, she just walks in and she just rolls her eyes, man. She just rolls her eyes like, what did you buy now? That's all I get all the time. So then, I've been tempted, I hope she's not watching the show, I've been tempted, of course, you've got the excuse, you don't know this, Pete, but you don't buy anything. Oh no, someone sent that to me. I didn't buy that, someone sent that to me.
Oh man.
I like that. So lying. I think that's is that a good way to end the show? Because, Mike, you got to let me go to bed, man. I've told you that it was past my bedtime when we started the show.
Yes, indeed.
And
It was a good day.
apparently we haven't, oh no, we have. We finished the show. That's right. We're just having some banter afterwards.
Thank you to the people in the chat. I'm sorry to expose you to that rubbish from these people. It's been great to have you here. We've had a great sort of audience tonight. Really constructive comments, taking part. I love to see you guys taking part. If I'd mentioned something during the proper show, if I could have mentioned something more, then it would have been the fact that I just opened a Facebook group. And you can see a link for it in the description. I'm going to click on that link myself now to see. It's called Cakewalk by BandLab Creative Source Group. It's already got 80 members. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm quite happy for that. It was only opened it a couple of hours ago. So yeah, definitely, if you love Cakewalk and you like my videos, follow that link in the description down below. Also, follow the link to Mr. Pete John's Studio Live today. I'm always saying this to people, don't be just a Cakewalk lover or Studio One lover or whatever it is. You can do things in different places, and one of the great places where you can make music is on mobile devices. Don't be a snob about it. That's just rubbish. You can get amazing stuff. They're just small computers. Get over it. It's just a computer, okay? It's just a computer that you can put in your pocket. It's nothing special. You can plug an audio interface into it. You can plug a nice microphone into that audio interface. You can do all sorts of amazing processing on it. I don't want to hear any of this rubbish about you can't make music on an iPhone or an iPad. It's absolute garbage. Follow the link in the description because Pete Johns is the the garage band. He is the garage band guy for iOS on the whole of YouTube. He's the top dog for it. He's the man that everybody in that community loves, and he is awesome at it. He's been my friend for a while now, and he's been a good friend, and I very much appreciate him. And as is Jade over there on the far side, although she pretends to be nasty to me sometimes, I know that she absolutely adores me, and I love people that adore me.
What?
But Jade...
Hang on a minute.
Jade...
Take the big black thing out of your mouth, Mike. There in front of you.
We could both stick a finger in Pete's ear, couldn't we? Hang on.
Yeah.
You join me in this,
That way.
Jade? Yeah, we've got to get the right way around. We could clear his ears out.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. I know.
He's gone
So
down
Jade
again.
has a great channel. Follow the link in the description for that because she has just so many different ideas of things that you can do on your phone outside of things like GarageBand. She discusses that. She looks at mobile devices, and I know she's got a couple of very cool ones coming up because she was showing me on the pre-show. And I love Jade's creativity. There's no bounds to it. There's no limits to it. Don't pigeonhole her like I did earlier on in the show. Follow the link in the bloomin' description. For God's sake, how many times do I have to ask you? Thank you so much for both of you for being on the show. And I'm going to leave the last word to Jade Starr.
Do the things that make you happy.